Surya. Okay. Huh? Right. This is syllabus revised one, which we have already discussed. Resistance and all, no need to write it in your notes because our topic is not related to resistance. But you know that resistance, from that only we are moving to conductance, conductivity, everything. So this is just. This is basically related to molar conductivity because resistance is not related to a chemistry topic. So we are actually, our topic is ionic or electrolytic or molar conductivity. But to explain all that, we are starting from resistance as just to give a continuation. So no need to make any notes of it because this is not directly important for us. But if you want to make a note or write it on something, I'll upload the notes at that time. Okay. So resistance, you know that what is resistance? What is resistance? In physics you studied, right?
Limits the flow of electrons.
Yeah. Controlling or opposing the flow of current, right? And resistance depends or affected by length and area of cross section. That is what R is proportional to length of the wire because this is related to resistance is related to the solid material. Resistance is not related to aqueous or liquid substances. Resistance is related to the opposing force for the current flow in a wire. That's what resistance is. Resistance is proportional, directly proportional to length. That means when the length of the wire increases, resistance increases, and it is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Area of cross section increases, it will be, resistance will be, okay. So that is what it's, you can say, and finally you get an equation. Resistance is equal to rho L by A. That rho term is known as resistivity or specific resistance. The constant or the proportionality constant in the equation of resistance is called resistivity or specific resistance. Just write the formula if you want. Yeah, no need to write anything and just write the formula and the unit if you want for everything what we discussed. That will be more than enough. So you can write R is equal to rho L by A and rho is the resistivity or specific resistance.
Right now.
And resistance is a unit is ohm. That means because most of this thing you already learn in physics, that's why I told you to not write everything. And next term which I want to discuss is conductance. What is conductance and resistance difference? They are opposite. Conductance means, resistance means the opposing thing, that is affects the flow of current. Conductance means the how easy it can go through the current. That means it's reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. Conductance is with the notation G, and G is reciprocal of resistance R. So G is equal to 1 by R. So it will be A. SI unit of resistance is ohm. Oh, that is if you look into one length is meter like that. If you substitute, finally you will get to something like this. But that is what replaced with the SI unit ohm for resistance. That is not important. So here conductance is reciprocal of or inverse of resistance, and you can see that G is equal to 1 by R. So that means the resistance equation will become A divided by rho into L. So here 1 by rho, that is reciprocal of resistance, is called conductance. That is what important for us. And the conductance is G, and 1 by rho, which is known as conductivity, that is K. So this is what important for us, K, that is conductivity. That's coming in the next slide. So here you should know what is conductance. Conductance is reciprocal of resistance. And the unit of conductance is Siemens. Conductance, either they write it as ohm inverse or sometimes the unit is Siemens, which is represented with the letter S. So this is equal ohm inverse or Siemens. Done?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, we should start writing from here, right?
Just write the equation, main equations only, and along with the
Okay.
unit. That's enough, yeah. So you just write conductance G is equal to 1 by R. You don't have to write it words. Conductance, it's Siemens. That's it. Okay. So next, conductivity. This is the reciprocal of resistivity, 1 by rho. Conductivity is reciprocal of, or the inverse of resistivity is called conductivity or specific conductance. And the symbol of conductivity is K, which is also called kappa. K means kappa. Kappa.
And this small a, how do you spell it?
Kappa. Kappa. So it's a K in our English alphabet, but that is what in Greek letters. Alpha, beta, gamma, like that. K is kappa for them. Because this is in Greek letters. Rho, everything is in Greek letters, no? Ohm, pi, all these are Greek letters. So it is 1 by rho, that is conductivity, and it is usually expressed in the term Siemens meter inverse or Siemens centimeter inverse. Siemens meter inverse or Siemens. So that's the only thing you need to write. What is it and its unit? And if the question is to define what is conductivity, like in physics, we used to take a unit length material like that. No, similarly, here also you can define conductivity. It is the conductance when 1 meter long area, like the material is 1 meter long and its area of cross section is 1 meter square. So then you can say that the conductivity is 1 Siemens meter raised to minus 1. If you are taking 1 centimeter length and 1 centimeter square as the area of cross section, then it will be centimeter, Siemens centimeter raised to minus 1. Centimeter inverse. So it's based on that. So if you are expressing conductivity in Siemens meter inverse, then the length of the wire unit length is 1 meter and the area of cross section is 1 meter square. But if you take 1 centimeter length and 1 centimeter square as area of cross section, then the conductivity will be in Siemens centimeter. So am I clear till here? Yeah. Kappa is 1 by rho. And its unit can be either Siemens centimeter inverse or Siemens meter inverse. And this conversion you will be knowing. I think this all these things you already learned in physics, right? Or you are going to, because your Ohm's law and all is coming, no, it's related to that only. You have practical also related to Ohm's law practical. Okay, done. Okay, that is not. Next heading, ionic or electrolytic conductance. Ionic or electrolytic conductance. So usually conductance, that is the what you can say in material is for the solid material. Similarly, if it is ionic and electrolytic conductance means this is for the solution. That means the conductance of electricity by ions present in the solution is called electrolytic or ionic conductance. So the conductance in a solid is because of transfer of electron, movement of electron. But in solution, we know that it conducts electricity because of the movement of ion. So that is different. That is why we know it as ionic or electrolytic conductance, because the conductance or the electricity is transferred through the electrolyte due to the movement of ions. But if you take a piece of copper, the movement of electricity is because of the transfer of electron, the electronic movement. But here it is because of the movement of ion. That is why it is known as ionic or electrolytic conductance. So electrolytes are the main topic for us. Yeah. So definition of ionic or electrolytic conductance mean conductance of electricity by ions present in the solution is called electrolytic or ionic conductance. Normally when we use the word conductance, that is for solid and there the electronic movement is taking place. But here ionic or electrolytic conductance mean the electricity is passing through a electrolyte by the movement of ions. And this electrolytic conductance depends on basically 5 factors. First one is the nature of electrolyte added. What is the type of electrolyte added? So the conductance by NaCl will be different from conductance by aluminum sulfate. So the type of electrolyte you are using, that is the first factor affecting the ionic or electrolytic conductance. Second one is size. You know that the size is also an important factor related to the movement. If you have a small positive ion or a negative ion and you have another one which is in bigger size. So the movement of ion depends on the size. If it's a bigger in size, the movement will be slower. So that means the size of the ion produced and their solvation. What do you mean by solvation? What is solvation? Solvation means when you take NaCl solid and when you add it to the water, the molecule, the compound will split as Na plus and Cl minus. Solvation means due to this positive and negative charge, the solvent molecule, we know that H2O contains oxygen and hydrogen and there is a polarity on oxygen as negative. So these negative charge can be attracted towards the positive ion. So as a result, after dissolving NaCl, it will look like this: positive ion attracted by the negative charge of oxygen. So this is known as solvation, where the molecule of solvent getting or surrounding the charge, positive or negative charge. So negative charge will be surrounded by hydrogen of the water in the reverse order. So this is how the solvation happened, that solvent molecule is making weak attraction with the positive and negative ion. So that is also mixed. So now the size of the molecule is different. So all the ions may not make, or all the solvent may not make this kind of arrangement, but still that is also affected. That is why they say that size of ions or their solvation. That is the second point.
What is the solvation?
Solvation means the type of interaction with the solvent molecule with the ions produced in the solution. Yeah. Third factor, the nature of solvent and its viscosity. That means if you take NaCl in water or if you take NaCl in alcohol, that makes a difference. Same ionic compound, but what kind of solvent you are taking, that will make a difference in the conductance. So nature of the solvent and viscosity. You know that highly viscous liquid, in highly viscous solvent, ions won't be able to move freely because the viscosity is too much, the movement won't be very smooth. But low viscous like water and all, the movement of ions will be more free. That is why the third point, nature of solvent and its viscosity. Then the fourth factor is concentration of electrolyte. That is how much quantity of electrolyte you're taking. 1 gram of NaCl or 10 gram of NaCl or 100 gram of NaCl in a definite volume of solvent. So the quantity, I mean the concentration. Last and the final factor affecting the ionic conductance is temperature, that we already know. It increases with increase in temperature because ions will take energy on heating and they'll be able to move fast. So on increasing the temperature, ions will get more energy, so they'll be able to move faster through the electrolyte. So these are the 5 factors affecting the electrolytic or ionic conductance. So if you pass electricity through a electrolyte, you know that electrolysis happens. That means a chemical reaction will happen and the type of the chemical composition will change. So this is may not be like continuing for a very long period of time, because once a chemical reaction happen, the ions are no more there. Oxidation reduction happens. Some ions are newly getting formed and some ions are getting reduced. So this is what happened when you start passing electricity in a freshly prepared electrolyte. Clear?
Only those 5 pounds.
Okay. Same thing only. Next side heading, molar conductivity. Same thing only, both the sides are the same point. Done?
Yeah.
Okay. Next side heading. This is what more important, because you might be seeing it this in the syllabus. Variation of your study, analyzing variation of molar conductivity on dilution. Molar conductivity. This is defined as the conductivity of an electrolytic solution divided by molar concentration. That is concentration in molarity. So conductivity divided by concentration in molarity. Molar, that's what known as molar concentration. And molar conductivity has got a symbol lambda m. Lambda m is the molar conductivity. So we already know conductivity is K. So K divided by C concentration is what the molar conductivity is. Now about the unit of molar conductivity, that depends on how you express the conductivity. Because lambda m is equal to conductivity by concentration and molarity. Usually it's moles per meter cube. Concentration is expressed in moles per meter cube. That is why there is 1,000 is introduced in it. 1,000 K by M. Lambda is equal to 1,000 K by M. M is molarity. Because molarity is usually in liters, that is moles per decimeter cube. But when we take moles per meter cube, that is why 1,000 is introduced. Divided by 1,000, that will come as numerator. Okay? I'll come to that. So lambda m is equal to 1,000 kappa by m. If you're taking molarity in moles per meter cube, not liter, it is meter cube. Okay, if it is liter, it is moles per decimeter cube. This is moles per meter cube. That is why additional 1,000 is introduced in the equation. And you have K. K can be Siemen centimeter inverse or Siemen meter inverse. Any of the unit you can use, right? If it is conductivity is expressed in Siemen centimeter inverse, then the unit of molar conductivity is this one. Siemen centimeter square mole inverse. Siemen centimeter square mole inverse. If it is meter, then it will be Siemen meter square mole inverse. So it can be either in centimeters or meters based on what is the unit you are using in conductivity. In the previous slide, we already said that K can be either Siemen centimeter inverse or it can be Siemen meter inverse. So based on what you take, the molar conductivity unit also varies. It could be either Siemen centimeter square mole inverse or Siemen meter square mole inverse. So that is based on which is the unit you are using for conductivity based on the question given.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is C in the formula? K by C.
That is as per the definition. Molar conductivity means conductivity divided by concentration. Right? That concentration is in molarity. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
This is what lambda m mean as per the definition. Molar conductivity mean conductivity kappa divided by concentration, and that concentration should be molarity. But molarity here is in moles per meter cube. Usually we write moles per liter. That is what molarity, right? Or you can say moles per liter mean moles per decimeter cube. That is what moles per liter, both are same. But here we are using it in moles per meter cube for this kind of calculation. And that is the reason why instead of writing lambda m is equal to K by m, it should be m divided by 1,000 because it's in meter cube. That 1,000 will come in numerator. And that is why the new equation lambda m is equal to 1000 K by M.
Ma'am, so
Okay.
in that equation, everything is in meters.
Yeah, in meter cube. That is for the molarity, I mean the concentration. Okay, and we will continue tomorrow of this discussion. These are just the term you need to familiarize, then you can understand the remaining topics. What do you want to know, right?
This is the last one formula.
That I'll explain tomorrow, don't worry. That is just showing the conversions, how to convert to centimeter to meter square, like that, the conversions and all. I'll explain it tomorrow. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
okay, bye.
Thank you.